Name is Tchana. I'm from Cameroon, and I actually teach you to record because I live a life of recording. I record everything I do, and either as a microphone or camera, and I always had the opportunity. I really, to speak to different group of people. Um, whether it's sports that I used to play, well, I still play a little bit. Whether it's church or any other activity that I want to do, and I want to kind of elaborate on that for the future. So, I'm from Cameroon, Africa, West Africa. It's like by Nigeria, Congo, and Gabon. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that country. Um, I was in my country um at the age of 16 years old. I was going through a series of tribulations. Um, I was really by the age of 5. My father and really showed me he really showed me this way of uh, getting to a spiritual life, like reading the Bible, going to church. And actually, my father was paying me to go to church. So I was getting money on Sunday. So Sunday is a good day. So I was getting money on Sunday to go to church. So I attend church. I was going to Bible study. I was going to, I was singing. I was on the choir. And I did a lot of things with church. I was involved in church a lot. Um, so I read, I read the Bible so much. I read the whole Bible. And while I was reading, I was always like, try to perform, what was going on in the Bible in this life, try to apply the principles of the Bible in my life, and it was good. I was having fun. I was making friends, and people was nice to me. I was nice to them in return. Uh, and at some point, I fell off. Um, I fell off, and I got distracted. I got distracted, and I was introduced to drugs. Well, not all kind of drugs. I was introduced onto one type of drug, marijuana. And so I started experimenting marijuana. So I started smoking marijuana, and and at the same time, I was reading my Bible. I was going to church, and the feeling that marijuana gave me was just a feeling of calmness and a feeling of kind of peace, a kind of feeling of how that I stay focused on what I do. So that was kind of my crush. Like the other people like drink alcohol or maybe smoke cigarettes or whatever, to feel okay, sometimes. But me it was marijuana. So um, when I was 17, that's where I started experiencing very a lot of difficulties to cope with life, and I felt like people weren't at my level, and I felt like I was kind of left out. I was kind of out of this world because I had so much thoughts and so much thing racing through my mind. But at that point, I was really young, so I didn't really understood how to control those thoughts. I can control myself. So I let myself go a little bit, and I start speaking like to my parents and my family about things that they never heard of before, and for them it was kind of strange, that all the son James is speaking, and so my mom took me to different pastors and different church members to pray for me, took me to medicine doctors around the country to help me out, and that was a long journey. It was almost like a year around, and I was diagnosed in the hospital. I didn't know my diagnosis at that time, but they say I was crazy. That's what they say. I was crazy. So inside of me, I knew that I wasn't crazy, but I just knew something was bothering me. So I didn't know what it was. So after we went to all these, doctors and priests and uncles and elders of the family, um, I finally I was taking medication first. They gave me medication in the hospital, and then they stopped. My mom took me, removed me out of the hospital because she felt like the medication wasn't helping me out. I was still talking, and my thought was still racing. I wasn't sleeping. I was spending almost like 2, 3, 4 nights with no sleep, and I would crash during the day and not know where I was. So, um, so my mom removed from the hospital and took me to church, to a Catholic church. He was a Catholic priest in Cameroon. He was an exorcist priest. So I stayed with that priest for about a year, and I was around them. I was praying with them. I was doing everything they were doing there. It was a big church with there was a lot of people there that were struggling with different type of illnesses, right? And from that moment, I I calmed down, and I was really composed when I got out of that church after a year, and I was really focused. I was calm. I was me again, and from then um, I picked up I picked up basketball, back because I was playing basketball when I was little. So I picked up basketball back, and then I played in Cameroon for a little while. I won the Cameroon championship, and my dad, I had an opportunity to go to Russia to play professional, and my dad told me that that's not really the place to go to play basketball because you know that basketball is played in the United States. So I thought my dad was crazy. So I thought he was against me and everything. I was upset. But at the end of the day, I listened to him because it's my father. So. Um, 3 weeks went by, and I was playing basketball on the playground, and because in the neighborhood they used to call me Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, I mean, you name it. And so they were speaking about me to this scout that came to Cameroon to find players. They told that you gotta check James because that guy over there is crazy. He's just basketball is this thing. So the guy came to the playground and offered me this opportunity to have a scholarship in the United States in high school and play basketball and go to school. So I told him that wow, let's go home. Let's go to my dad because he's the man. So we went home. He was in the living room with my dad talking. I was in the kitchen with my mom, rejoicing. So and then my dad called me and he told me that okay, Jen, I guess you're gonna have to go do your passport, tomorrow and start the paperwork. And this is your chance. This is your opportunity, and I'm gonna help you out. So I was really thankful. I was really excited, and I went on and did the paperwork. And I received the letter back from the school. The embassy gave me the visa, and the plane ticket was there. So I left Cameroon within a month. So I didn't even know how to speak English.
Wow.
So my original language is French. So this is James going to the airport, getting to getting on the airplane, the whole neighborhood getting to the airport, They thought I was famous. But it was a good feeling, I had my friends and family supporting me, to the beginning of my journey to the US, so it was a really good thing. And so when I left, I was in the plane and I arrived to New York. That was the port of entry. I met this immigration officer that asked me about my paperwork. I didn't know how to speak English, so I was like, "Good morning," and he said, "Good morning." He said, "Can I see your paperwork?" So I'm like, "My name is James." Those are the few words that I learned before I left the country. So he was getting irritated, and then he was a lady that translated for me. So I thought, I gave him everything I had, and then the host family that came welcomed me at the airport. Was there, and then they saw me, and then they took me home. I was welcomed by the pastor of Our Savior New American School in Long Island, New York. That was that was also the headmaster and the head basketball coach, and I was living at his house. So I was the only student that was living at the pastor's house.
Wow.
So I was pastor's son. So I had to do the right thing all the time. So that was a good thing. So I went to school um, at Our Savior. I graduated in 2005, um, and I received a. Well, before graduation, 2004, I was in. We were traveling to North Carolina to play a basketball tournament. It was the top 14 in the country. It was Our Savior, Oak Hill, Mount Zion, and Hargrave Academy. And those were the four top teams in the country. So at that time, it was like Dwight Howard was playing for one of the team.
Wow.
You know, uh, guys like that. So on the way to North Carolina, our van flipped over about 5 or 6 times. Um, One of my teammates, Kevin Mormon, rest in peace, snapped his neck and he passed away. I had 8 broken ribs, a broken clavicle, a broken sternum, and both lungs were collapsed. And I was in the coma for about 3 days, and I rose the third day in the hospital, Wake Forest Hospital, I remember. So after that experience, the doctor told me that I would never be able to play basketball again because I messed up. So in my mind, it wasn't resonating that like that. So it was resonating the opposite. It was actually encouraging me to go back and play basketball. So within three months, I recovered. Mostly. So I told the coach that I wanted to go back and play. I was practicing a little bit with the team, but the coach told me to take it easy. He was telling the guys to take it easy. I said, no, let's play. And I was wrapped up with pain patches all over. And, and I finally was playing again about 4 months after. Thank God, that was amazing. So when I left, after I started playing, I went back to North Carolina, to play this tournament. That was the same year. I went back to North Carolina to play this tournament, and this tournament, the final, the championship of the tournament, I played this tournament against Kevin Durant. He played for the Oklahoma Thunders, and Kevin Durant at that time, I mean, he was just a skinny boy. I was an upperclassman, so anybody that was under me was weak. So I play hard and I did my best, and at the end of the game, I received the most outstanding player of the game, which was amazing. I would never. I was stunned, and. So we went back to Our Savior, and we celebrated championship, and everything was great. I was continuing going to school, and so with the help and support of my family, my dad flew over my sister to support me, and at that time I was staying with my host mother, Marsha Schmidt, the husband and the kid. And so I had a different host family. I moved from the pastor to another host family, and so from there, when I graduated, I received a scholarship to go to Fresno State. So when I received my scholarship to go to Fresno State, I immediately committed and told the coach that I would love to come and visit. So they flew me out. I went for a visit. 2 days, and I flew back, and then from there I told my family that I want to go there. It was a good place. They welcomed me, and it was also a couple of players that were from Africa, and so everything just went normal. And before my decision to Fresno State was influenced by my mentor, Adano Foyer. He used to play for the Golden State Warriors, so he's the community ambassador for the Golden State Warriors, and so when I went to the Fresno, my decision was influenced by him. So I wanted to be close to him because he was the only close thing that was to me that was close to basketball. So I went there. So I was going to his house every weekend, and so I had that kind of big brother, boost and mentoring. He introduced me to reading, discovering different things, and I really enjoyed it. You know, um, so I went to so going to Fresno State. I played for Fresno State for about 3 years, and I didn't feel comfortable with the coach because the coach that recruited me got fired. So they recruited another coach, and I didn't feel comfortable with him, and so I had to leave Fresno. I wasn't feeling good, and I met my um, actually I met my ex-wife at Fresno. We moved back to New York. We drove cross country to New York. I moved back to New York. I transferred at Long Island University in New York. Fresno State, I was studying communications. I have my AA in communications, and when I went to Long Island University, I had to switch up the major because they didn't have communication. So I asked the counselor what was the closest major to communication. She told me it was sociology. So that's when I got introduced to sociology. So I studied sociology and I graduated in 2009 with a bachelor in sociology. And so I was playing for Long Island University. We won 2 championships while I was playing. We went to the Elite Eight the first time, and then we won the championship, the conference championship. Um, After Long Island University, I had an opportunity. That was my host that were in Fresno State that was showing me for the tour. He called me from Qatar. Qatar is a country located in the Middle East, near Saudi Arabia. He called me and he asked me, James, how you doing? I was like, I'm doing good. He asked me, are you in shape? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, are you done with school? I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I graduated. He's like, okay, well, we need a big man right now. I'm down. I hurt my leg, so we need somebody to replace us. I was thinking about you, and then I will try to see if you can, come and play. So I talked to the general manager. We negotiated a contract, and I didn't have no agent, so I negotiated my own contract. And they flew me out 2 weeks from the moment I spoke to them. So I was in Qatar. So I stayed there and I played in Qatar for a little while, and that was my first introduction to playing professional basketball. So after Qatar, I came back in the country, and I came back in the country, and I decided to enroll into the master program of public administration. So I did a year of the master program, but I was more like at that time I felt like I studied too much. I feel like I need some money. So I went back. Yeah, I had another second opportunity. Went back to play professional basketball. I went to Malaysia, Indonesia, Mongolia, and Japan. So that and I was still married. And my ex-wife and I, we moved we were staying in Hollywood for a while, and everything was going really well. But when I played last in Mongolia, she called me and divorced me over the phone. So I said, well, okay, no problem. She told me she has to go back to school because she felt like I would be a distraction for her. So I didn't know what was the meaning of it. But anyway, I said, fine. I came back to the country and I wasn't fine. I wasn't okay at all. So I came back to the country with my teammates from Long Island University because when they hired me for that job, they needed a point guard. So I called my teammate, Aaron Hall, and had him come with me. So we came back to California, and I felt, you know, he stayed at my apartment for one night. My wife left the apartment. She pretty much took everything out of the apartment, and she left. And I told my teammate that if you want to stay for like a week, it's fine. We can change his flight, and we can just hang out together. But he had to go back to New York, so he left. And what I did, I was really depressed, and So I went I went on and packed my stuff in the house, my car. I left and I went. I was going. I was on my way. I was heading on my way to my cousin to drop off my stuff so they could keep it because I was about to move from that apartment. It was too expensive for me to keep for myself. So on the way to my cousin in Fontana, um, I, I I got into a fender bender, and the cops came. And before the cops came, when I got into a fender bender, um, I left the car. I went into a house of a stranger, and I asked him if I could take a shower. Because it was hot, and I needed a cold shower. So I just walked in the house, and I told them I'm really hot, and I need a shower. They gave me a towel and a soap. So I took a shower in a stranger's house, and then they were calling the police. So the police came. I cleaned up myself, and I went out, and then they had me sit down on the floor, and they handcuffed me. They asked me for my license. Everything was suspended because I had a ticket, that was unpaid, which I sent money to my wife, but she never paid the ticket. So they impound my car, and they took me to the mental hospital. Why they took me to the mental hospital? Because previously, in 2011, when I came back from Malaysia, um, I found they were selling these cigarettes in Malaysia that were I don't know what was in those cigarettes, but I felt like they were laced with something, and so I smoked those cigarettes, and that cigarette triggered something in my head. So I felt I couldn't go to sleep. I, I had a hard time focusing, and I was hearing so much voices. I was hearing things out of the blue, you know. Um, Not that I'm afraid of voices because sometimes I hear things, but I hear things internally, and I feel like that's maybe the voice of God speaking to me. But that those voices were different. They were more of a kind of evil voices. Do this, do that. Hide from here. People chasing you. One time I walked in Beverly Hills and I walked in a firehouse and I thought that they were killing people there, and putting them in sandwich bag and eating them. So and I was just walking around, walking around. They asked me, "What are you doing here?" So I was like, "No, I'm just looking around." And so they said you have to get out of the building. So I said, "Okay." So I went around and I came back. They called the police. The police came. The police officer didn't even he didn't even told me anything. He was just like, "Sir, what are you doing here?" So I'm like, "No, I'm just getting my bag. I'm leaving." And then he tased me. So this police officer, they came about 5 or 6 of them. They tased me about 9 times, and I fell on the ground. And they tied me, they handcuffed me, and they took me to a mental hospital. It was called in Pasadena, Aurora. So I stayed in Aurora for about 3 weeks, and I was diagnosed with bipolar. So I was on medication, and I came down, and everything was good, and I was feeling better. So I was going to a therapy almost every day um, in Los Angeles. So from that point, I got better, and I went back overseas. So I was playing. I was pretty much playing basketball with, being bipolar and taking medication. So when I was going overseas, I ran out of medication, but I was still able to handle myself because I wasn't, messing up with anything like alcohol or drugs or anything like that. So I was just focused. And and on my way back, on my way to let me go back to the story because this one's over already. So when I left, so after the cops put me in the hospital in Chino Hills. I stayed in Chino Hills for about 3 weeks. As well, my cousin came and assisted me over there. He was bringing me stuff, and I had the support, and I was on medication still. I was on a medication called Depakote, uh, and the other medication was named Zyprexa. Yes, Zyprexa and Depakote. So I took Zyprexa and Depakote for a while, but Zyprexa was making me sleepy, so I couldn't really function with that. And after that event, when I came back from Mongolia, after they put me in chino wheels or whatever, they impounded my car. So I had to go back to LA and try to find some money so I can take my car out of impound. So I called my friend down in Foyo and told him that I need money. So he sent me $2,000 to go pick up my car and have some money to get a place to stay. So I went to a barber shop and to get my beard trimmed. And while I was at the barber shop, it was a lady that worked at a barber shop. She told me that after my haircut, she walked behind me and she kind of she came and put a belly in my head. Like I was returning this question, and then she came and rubbed me with her belly. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, and then she started talking. She was saying some stuff to me. I didn't, I was really upset. So I wasn't in my head. I was out. I wasn't good. So when I got done with my haircut, I was walking out of the barber shop. The same lady came behind me and put her hands on top of my head. So I turned around and I told her that the next time you're gonna put your hand on top of my head, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna cut you up, put you in a duffel bag, and throw you in a trash can. So from there, she felt threatened and she called the cops. So the cops came. I was outside of the barber shop. They asked for my ID. They handcuffed me and they took me. I thought they were taking me to another mental hospital, but this time was the real deal. They took me to jail. So I was locked up in the county jail for 5 months, and I was fighting my case. My attorney fought my case for me, and while I was in jail, I faced another case. My first case, which was when I was in Hollywood at that time, and I was on the street drinking and smoking weed, marijuana. So I'm taking the bus. I'm trying to go to my apartment, and then in the bus, because I have psychosis, I'm not taking medication. I'm not getting counseling. I'm not getting therapy. I felt like I was Captain America, and he was a strange guy that was on the bus. And I asked him for his ID. I want to see his ID because he had a bunch of bags. I asked him, "Can I see your ID?" And I told him I was a police officer, and he gave me his wallet, and I was looking at his ID, and I believe I gave him his wallet back, and I stepped out of the bus. I went to my apartment, and then when I got out of my apartment, the police was outside, and they arrested me. They put me in the car, and they took me to another hospital. So I stayed at the hospital for about a couple of days, and then they released me. So I was on the street. And then I got in trouble at the barber shop, and then so I was in jail. So that case that was from the bus, I forgot about that. So that case followed me in jail, and from that case, they sentenced me. They put me on probation. They put me on probation, but they asked the guy that, did he took any money from you? The guy said no. So basically, I didn't know what I did. They said they gave me this. They sentenced me with a grand theft felony. Grand theft felony. I didn't steal anything. All I asked was ID, and I was sick. So I left the county jail, and so I was on probation for 3 years. And so I lost everything. I lost my car. I lost all my property that was in my car. I lost my apartment. So I was homeless, and I didn't have nowhere to go. And I went to in downtown LA. It's called the Volunteers of America, the Rotary Center, Rotary House, and I stayed there for about 7 months. While I was in the Rotary House, I was working telemarketing at this place in Hollywood, North Hollywood, and I managed to make about $3,000 saving. And I left the Rotary House, and when I left the Rotary House, I went to one of my coach's house, And I didn't stay there for too long because he was asking me for rent and it was kind of too big for me. I wasn't making that much money. So I left and I was back on the street. So I was living in a hotel. I tried to manage the day-to-day life, and I wasn't on medication, and things was going bad, not good for me. So I figured that, okay, I need to take a shower. I have no money. I'm out of the hotel, so I'm going back to the shelter where I was before. So I'm going to the shelter where I was, and I asked them, I need to take a shower. So the people at the shelter told me that, James, you can't take a shower here. You're not a part of this shelter anymore. I was like, you crazy? I'm taking a shower anyway. So I took a shower, and they called the police. They told the police that I threatened them again. I was about to, I told them, I said, I trained these people. So the police, handcuffed me and took me to jail again. So I stayed in jail for about 7 months. I was taking medication when I was in the county jail. So I was taking the same medications, Iprex, Depakote. And upon my release, I had an immigration hold on me. They was about to, defer me back to Cameroon because I was a permanent resident. And my attorney fought my case, and then he fought really hard. I had the support of my family friends, Jerry Kasdan, Steve Savati, Jared Kasdan, my mom, my dad. I mean, everybody was supporting me. And from that point, I had a choice: either taking 3 years in prison, or going to a rehab facility. So I choose the rehab facility. So I was taken to Ala Vista in Pomona. It's called Ala Vista in Pomona. So I stayed in Pomona for about a year in a rehab facility, and I was taking medication, and I was introduced to therapy and counseling, and learned a lot over there, and I felt better. So at that point, when I was in Ala Vista, almost by the end of my release, I was looking for a place to go. But Ala Vista set you up with the FSP program, Full Service Partnership, as Leslie was saying earlier. So Telecare came and rescued me at Ala Vista, and was willing to help me. So they placed me in a boarding care, where they placed me in a boarding care because I don't receive Social Security. So they are paying for my stay at the boarding care out of pocket where I stay at the present moment. And Telecare, not even like 3 weeks being with them, they gave me a part-time job, that I'm still working today. I was working 2 days a week, and then they gave me more days, so I'm working now 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. And so what I do at Telecare, I pretty much greet the clients and take them to from the lobby to the sitting area, and so they can wait. They can the case managers and the nurses can come and get them from there to work with them. So I receive counseling. I'm meeting with a doctor once a month, Dr. Gold, very good doctor and very interesting man. So he knows a lot about sports. So we get I get a chance to chat about that to him. So very interesting. Really nice people at Telecare. Always nice to me. Nice to other clients as well.
Who's your favorite nurse?
Oh, my favorite nurse. I was about to forget. I'm sorry, Marion. My favorite nurse is Marion. I mean, when I got to Telecare, it was Marion that, kind of made me smile at first because I wasn't smiling. And then she was like, James, you have to smile. You're trying. And then I started smiling, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And then she asked me how am I doing. I said, I'm doing okay. She said, no, what's the matter? You look good. You have to feel, tell me you feeling fantabulous. So, there you go. So, and then and she set me up with the medication. I had to take different type of test, clinic, because she coordinated everything, like with the clinic, the doctor, and with the patients. So, so I'm still taking my medication, and I'm living at a boarding care somewhere around Beverly, Beverly Boulevard over there. And so, uh, and got involved into the community with telecare, little things that they do. Going to the nanny walk. I went to the nanny walk. Sometimes they have like it's just sandwiches and different things like that. And and they put a little bit of money in my pocket. Which is a good thing. So I can sometimes buy something for myself. And be okay. Uh, so, and I'm doing okay today. I'm doing great, and because I always have that, have this sense of not letting myself down. Always work hard, and I come from a championship background. I won a lot of championships. From when I was back in Cameroon to today. I probably won about 20 championships. So in my house, my mom holds a lot of trophies. My mom has a lot of she has like a whole trophy case and medals, and then she brags about it all over, every day. So it's a good thing for her. So every time I won a championship, I would make sure I send the trophy back to my mother so she can, brag about it. So recently my sister, purchased a gym membership for me, so I'm back in the gym working out. Because exercise is something that's really important for you to maintain some type of balance. And exercise is really good for you because exercise will open up that part of your brain that needs creativity. That part of your brain that can stimulate, your thoughts and your ideas, and you want to see that while you're working out, you're sweating and then you're giving effort, and then at that time you the adrenaline is rushing, and you don't want to, you just want to be focused. You just want to get this thing done, and then when you're done, you take that shower, you feel so much better, and it's good for your health. So that's why I always wanted to go back to the gym. I always go back to the gym. Um, and I still read my Bible. I'm a really strong believer. I have a really strong faith in Jesus Christ. So I make sure I read my Bible every day. And I know that some people have different beliefs. Some people believe in Jesus. Some people believe in Buddha. Some people believe in anything. And and I read all the books. I read books from the Bible, the Torah. I read the Bhagavad Gita, the Indian book, the Sanskrit, you name it. I mean, I'm a big researcher, so I read a lot of spiritual books. And so, and I forgot to tell you, when I was in high school, I had an opportunity to meet a motivational speaker named Pat Williams. He was at a banquet, so I was introduced to him by my host mother, Marsha, and he gave me his business card, called him while I was in school, and he sent me a bunch of books. He sent me a bunch of books to read. So from there, I was introduced to that love of spirituality. So I kept in touch with him. So I talked to him sometimes, maybe like 5, 6 times a year. He's always got something good for me to take on and move forward in my life. So my goals right now, try to move forward, find my own place to stay, start up my own business. My business is motivational speaking. That's my business. My business is talking. So mine just get paid for it. Because
Good idea.
I can talk 6 hours. You can stop me. So let me know when you need me to stop. Because I can go on and on. Because I have stories,
Okay. Maybe a few more minutes because I know they're going to have a lot of questions for all
Perfect.
you guys.
Perfect.
Okay.
So, where I'm at right now, I'm really happy. I'm glad that I had, I received that helping hand from Telecare. and they placed me in a good place today where I can, enjoy myself and look forward to have good a good life. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Answer questions?
Yeah. So questions maybe for any of you? Yeah. Any of you guys have questions?
Okay.
James, would you ever be interested in coaching a team?
Sure.
Have you ever coached?
Yeah, I coach. I coach. Actually, I was living my coach that I told you about in the story. He lived across the street. So I used to come on campus and the campus lounge. I used to be there, eating sandwiches, and you guys got good food over here. Yeah, the Dominguez house. It's like, so yeah, definitely. I was coaching kids at the park. It's campus right there. They have a big basketball court outdoor. So I was coaching kids. Yeah, I did a lot of coaching like during the summer league, and motivational speaking, like keynote speaker at basketball camps. So I talk to kids, about my story.
Yes.
And they feel motivated.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this.